Once upon a time, nestled in a gentle seaside village, lived a small bright-eyed turtle named Tino. Now Tino was the youngest turtle in his whole family, and he believed he was also the fastest. Every single morning, just as the first waves of the day kissed the warm sand, Tino would burst out of his little shell home and start racing towards the water. "First one to the sea wins," he would shout with all his might. But here's a little secret. No one else was actually racing with him. The scuttling crabs, the soaring seagulls, even the slow and steady hermit snails. They all moved at their own calm, peaceful rhythm. Tino just couldn't understand why. Why wouldn't they want to be first? Why wouldn't they want to win? One particularly sunny morning, as Tino was getting ready for his daily sprint, he met Grandpa Shelby. Grandpa Shelby was the oldest and wisest turtle on the entire beach. He had lines on his shell that crisscrossed like tiny golden rivers, each one holding a story of its own. He saw Tino wiggling with impatience and smiled a kind, gentle smile. "Tino, my little friend," he said in a voice as soft as the sea breeze. "The sea will always be there. It's not going anywhere. Why do you rush when you know the waves are waiting for you too?" Tino tilted his little head, confused. "But Grandpa Shelby," he replied, "if I go slow, I'll be last. I don't want to be last." Grandpa Shelby let out a low, rumbling chuckle. "Ah, but maybe," he said with a twinkle in his eye, "maybe being last will show you the most beautiful things." That night, Tino couldn't sleep a wink. He tossed and turned in his sandy bed, the old turtle's words echoing in his mind. He dreamed of the sea moving too fast for him, of giant waves running away before he could even touch them. He woke up feeling strange, a little bit jumbled inside. He started to think that maybe, just maybe, there was more to waiting than he had ever known. So, the very next morning, Tino decided to try something completely new, something he had never done before. He didn't run. He walked. He took one slow, careful step at a time. The sand, which he usually just kicked up in a hurry, felt surprisingly soft and warm under his feet. As he walked slowly, he started to notice things. Tiny shimmering seashells he'd never seen before. Ones he must have raced past every other day. He found one shaped like a perfect little heart, and another that seemed to sing a soft whistling song when the wind blew just right. He paused and looked up at the sky. The sunrise was painting everything in breathtaking shades of orange, pink, and gold. It was so beautiful it made him catch his breath. He whispered to himself, "Was this always here?" A small crab who was digging a hole nearby stopped and nodded its head, its little stalk eyes blinking. "It always is." The crab clicked softly. "When you take the time to look." Tino felt a smile spread across his face. He finally reached the edge of the water, long after everyone else had gone for their morning swim. But this time, instead of diving in with a great big splash, he hesitated. He let the cool, foamy waves wash over his toes. It tickled. It was a feeling he'd never really noticed before, and for the first time in his life, he didn't want to rush. He floated gently on the surface, watching the morning sunlight sparkle like a million tiny diamonds across the sea. The whole world felt calm, quiet, and peaceful. And Tino, he felt proud. He wasn't first, but he felt like he had won something much bigger. As the days turned into weeks, Tino's whole world changed. He learned to wait for the tide to come in, watching its slow and steady journey up the beach. He learned to wait for the stars to appear, one by one in the dark night sky. He even learned to wait for the right moment to speak, listening more and rushing less. He got so good at being slow that he started teaching the younger turtles how much fun it could be. Together, they invented a brand new game. They called it the slow race. The goal was to see who could move the most carefully and slowly towards the water. The little turtles would giggle and laugh Every time someone got so relaxed, they almost fell asleep mid-race. Tino loved it, because even though he never won the slow race, he discovered something far better. He learned that patience makes every single moment last longer and feel more special. One evening, as the sun dipped low below the horizon and painted the entire sea a brilliant gold, Grandpa Shelby came and sat beside him on the shore. He looked out at the water, then back at Tino, and said softly, "See, Tino, the sea never left you. It just waited. It waited for you to slow down enough to truly see it." Tino smiled a big, happy turtle smile and nodded. He understood now. "Maybe," Tino said, his voice full of wonder, "maybe the sea was trying to teach me its rhythm all along." And that night, as the gentle waves whispered their lullabies to the shore, Tino drifted off to sleep right there on the soft sand. He dreamed slow, peaceful dreams, with the light of 1,000 stars shining down and sparkling on his little shell.